You had Mencia on your pod. Was that weird?
Are these things you wrote down? These questions?
These are things that I'm curious about that I've been meaning.
Why?
They don't come up in.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
This is interesting.
Are you interested?
Well, have you already?
No,
hold on. Have you already addressed it? Because if you haven't,
no, I haven't addressed it.
Oh.
Ali, do you have questions for me?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I do.
You're the co-host,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You don't really. Yeah. Fuck this guy, man.
You guys have a camaraderie. You guys have history.
I want to create something with you, man.
Well, hold on.
Go wild.
Well, my question was a follow up to Fahim's.
Have you seen my dick?
Yeah.
What?
You've seen my penis?
I think at the Comedy Store.
Have you seen my penis?
Yeah, I think it's a rite of passage. Everyone has to see it. Yeah.
So we don't have to do that right now.
No.
No, I was like front row Comedy
I've
Store.
had my fill.
Yeah. So what is it, Ali?
Oh, it was actually a follow up of Fahim's.
Oh my God, what is it?
About this, the guest that you had. Mencia.
No, you come up with your own fucking thing.
Well, it's a follow up to that. So once you answer that, I got my follow up.
All right, what's your question?
Two-parter. All right. You went on the road with Paulie and you went on the road with Mencia. What? Do you hate these questions?
Go ahead. I'll answer them.
Okay. What did you learn most from Paulie, and what did you learn most from Mencia as a comic?
With Paulie, I learned that it doesn't have to be like a polished act. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there were times where Paulie was just like, you know what I mean? What is he doing? Right? But it's like he's just being himself and just reacting to the moment of what it is, right? And it's like it's just his general attitude and vibe, and that's what they love. You know what I mean? His fans love that, right? And it's like I learned that it doesn't have to be perfect, and you can just be yourself. And you know, in many ways, it's like they're just happy to see him, right? With Mencia, I learned it's got to be militarized jokes, like, you know what I mean, like tight, long, destroy from the beginning to end, right? So it's like it's a push and pull almost like between the two. They're completely two different audiences. But Mencia taught me. I used to take my hair and I make it into an afro on stage. You didn't know me then.
No.
And I did that for one joke, right? So my hair would be sticking out like this, and the one joke I would I would walk up on stage kind of tired, and not say anything, and because of my hair, people would just laugh automatically, and I would just come to the mic and go, "I'm not really Asian. I just woke up," and I used to get a laugh, right? And it was like the biggest laugh that I got, right? And one day, Mencia goes, "Hey, bro, wear this." I go, "What is it?" "It's a hat." He goes, "Wear that." And I go, "I can't do my hair thing then." "You're never going to do it again." I go, "It's my thing." He's like, "You're relying on it. It's not. It's dumb." So we made me wear this hat. And I bombed because I couldn't do the hair thing. Mm-hmm. And he taught me not to rely on these little gimmicks and, you know what I mean, little things. And just to, you know what I mean, write jokes, have a point of view and all that kind of stuff. But that's the things I learned from them. What else do I want to ask?
That's interesting. Well, you're going to piggyback on it. What was the
No,
question?
you were going to ask me about what was he like having the podcast.
Well, yeah.
That was my...
Was that in the works for a while? What made you want to have him on the pod?
I've been asking for years, and it never happened.
He would just say, "No, I'm busy," or what?
He was on the road, too busy. You know, it's a difficult one to even talk about because I get pulled in different directions when I think about him.
Because he gave you your start a bit, or
I just gave him my start. He was very gracious with financially for me back then. Before Mad TV, I had no money, and if I needed rent, if I needed electrical bills paid, he would pay it. He bought me a car, which I totally totaled because stick shift. I didn't know how to do it, and you know, he's done so much for me, that it pains me what I did when he was in dire need for help. Mm. But if I didn't cut the cord, I would have been drugged down with him. And it was very difficult, painful. And so having him on, there was a part of me that's just like, I want to try to help him revive his thing. I always had this notion that if you apologized for all of it, even if there are some bits that you're accused of that in your heart you didn't steal, there's no way to prove you did or you didn't, right? So for me, that's specific to comedy, I think. I would just go, I used to steal. I'm sorry. I need to have a lot of material because I was getting a lot of TV things, and, the amount of television appearances were catching up to the amount of material that I had. So I had to steal, whatever it might have been, right? But I thought the best approach, even when it happened, was apologize, maybe do a documentary about apologizing to comics that you stole from, and then do a documentary. In the documentary, it shows you going on the road and bombing new material and failing and do the trial and error thing that we all fucking do. And then at the end, you're doing a special, right? That's completely yours. The audience is able to see, your progression and your failure and picking yourself back up and all that kind of stuff. And then I suggest that to our agent. He related to Ned, Carlos. He didn't want to do it. Denied it. And so I thought years had passed. I go, why don't we get him onto Tiger Belly? He can apologize for all of it, right? And we can start anew. And he wouldn't do it. And that's it. It was just like, he said he would do it on the phone.
He was like, that sounds like a good game
I'll do it in my own
plan.
way, but I want to come on and make it right or whatever. He gets on and he doesn't do it.
What's going through your mind when he's not doing the thing?
Me and Kalila were just kind of looking at each other going, what is this? And we gave him so many outs, right? And he's like sticking to the guns.
Yeah.
But in many ways, though, what does he care? Because at the end of the day, it's like some of the guys that we know that are canceled, right? They can always make a living on the road. He's always wanted. That's his thing. There's nothing better. Him on stage is the ultimate dream from him. It really is. I dread it. You know what I mean? Like going on the road and doing this 5th show, you're just like, I want to get the fuck out of here. 45 minutes, I'm out, right? He'll do 3, 4 hours. He doesn't give a fuck. That's his thing.
Yeah.
So in many ways, he's still able to do the thing he loves to do. He's still making a living, not as much as he did. He could have been a bigger star than he is. But it's like, he's not destitute. He made so much money in his heyday.
Yeah.
He's very frugal with his money. And he's fine. You know what I mean? But, I wanted him to try to get back into, LA, Hollywood, and maybe get some stuff going. You know what I mean? That's outside of stand-up. But that's probably not going to happen.
It just seemed like a wasted opportunity.
Yeah, if it was me, I would have done it completely differently. But, in many ways, this is the real question you have to ask yourself, is there have been some white people, right, that have been accused of thievery, and they were still able to hold on to their careers. That's the bigger question. Why does a Hispanic guy, right, get accused of the same thing, and he's in prison forever, right, and his white counterparts are able to have still a TV movie career and move on, right? Robin Williams was the biggest thief in comedy history. That's a known thing, right? He used to have a hotline, where if Robin stole one of your jokes, you could leave a message and they would write you a check.
Wow.
Right? And then, they used to call him Robin Jokes Williams or whatever, right? So it's like, that's a thing, right? Rest in peace. He was a genius. Yeah. He was one of the best from a comedian to actor we've ever had.
Yeah.
He's so talented. I'm not putting him down, or, he has a legacy, and he is a genius. There's nothing
Sure.
negative I want to say about him. That's just a factual thing, right? And he was still able to have a career, right? Why not Ned? Who knows, you know? But that is, you know, something that I think about. That's why I don't think it's about that. My theory is it's not about that. Maybe there is a little bit of like, you know, racism in it or whatever, but I think it goes deeper, and this is it. He used to come to the Comedy Store in the 90s, and we'd have a line, you know, you'd see the lineup. You know, like we today, every Wednesday at the Comedy Store, Martin Lawrence comes in, right? He's a nice guy, we see him. He's a special guest.
Yeah.
He does 15 minutes, sometimes less, and he leaves. There's no harm done. We get to see a legend. He's one of the greats, right? What Mencia did was not call in, show up unannounced, and do 3 hours, right? So if you had a 9:45 spot, he comes in at 9:30. You're not going to go up until 1 a.m, and then whoever's after you they don't even get to go up, right? And that happened all the time. Now think about this. Think about who was on those lineups back then. Maniscalco, Joe Rogan, Marc Maron, a young Whitney Cummings. The list goes on. Chelsea Handler, right? The list goes on. These are all people that showed up, thought they had a spot, and because of Mencia, couldn't go up, right? What does that do to you if you get bumped in that way all the time for years? You create a deep resentment.